Welcome to my second Pilates for our parents video. I'm going to take you through a series of Pilates exercises to improve our posture, flexibility and strength. We're going to start in standing on our mats today. So with your feet together, the very first thing I want you to do is grow as tall as you can. Imagine your head full of helium like a balloon floating up off of your shoulders. As you do that, you should feel your pelvis stack right over the middle of your feet. Your rib cage stack and ground over your pelvis, and your head and neck draw back and over the top of your chest. From here, we're going to just do some big shoulder shrugs to our ears and squeeze them down your backs. Keep that height through your body. Keep that reach through your head and neck, like your head is floating up off of your shoulders. As I do that, I can feel this inner core coming on. I'm squeezing my legs together, feeling this muscular corset wake up around me, and all I'm doing is working on growing the tallest I can be. Now we're going to add in some side bends. So with our left side only, big shoulder shrug up towards your ear, and then as it goes back, side bend down towards that side. We can do a half little roll forwards into the middle, and then curl all the way back up into standing. Grow the tallest you can be. Right side, big shoulder shrug, and around, side bend down, into the middle, and then curl all the way back up, restacking your vertebra, shoulders roll out. Once more each side, I'm keeping my legs together to challenge balance, squeezing my legs together. If you need to step them apart, then go for it. Just challenge that balance to a point where it feels good for you. And on the right hand side, big shoulder shrug, bending down into the middle and then curling all the way back up. I'm going to take my feet now hip width apart. So my feet are directly underneath my hips. Elbows are going to squeeze into my waist. As I breathe out, I'm going to open up my palms. I'm going to take my hands as wide as I can, pinching my shoulder blades together, growing tall through the crown of my head. Breathe in and bring them back closed. So breathe out, you're going to feel your chest open. Those muscles between your shoulder blades work, and grow that height and return. Breathe out as you open, keep that out breath going, breathe in as you close. So you're just taking some of your fullest breaths, expanding into your rib cage, using all of that lung space you can, regaining that height in your posture. 2 more like this. Feel that stretch through the front and the work through the back. We spend so much of our days with our arms out in front of us, working, driving, reading, writing. This is a way of getting that chest to open, and we work the opposite side. Now from there, we're going to take our hands forwards. I want you to make some fists. So clench your fists. You're going to press your hands together. You're going to breathe out, straight arms. Those arms are going to come back as though your hands are going to touch behind you. Breathe in, bring them forwards. Breathe out, take those arms back behind you. So we're still working on stretching through the front by strengthening the back. Now we can just stay here, working on this upper body. Keep that length through your spine, or you can follow me and add in some squats. So hands in front, I'm going to stick my bottom back, put the weight in my heels. As I breathe out, I'm going to grow up the tallest I can be through the top of my head, squeeze my shoulders back behind me. Breathe in, sit back down. Breathe out, standing up. Squeeze those arms back behind you, grow as tall as you can. Breathe in, come back down. As those arms come back, the chest opens, and it's really tempting to flare our rib cage, but don't let that happen. You want to restrict that overextension in your lower back by squeezing up and in on the tummy muscles. 4 more like that, just getting some work and some fire going through the whole body. Breathe out as you stand back up, grow tall, tall, tall. 2 and 1. Keeping those fists out in front of you, so you're tensing up the whole arm. We're now going to take our right hand over our shoulder. So we do that, we want you to keep focused on that right tummy. Keep the ribs grounded down and down. Squeeze your fist, breathe out, take your left hand up. and down. Make sure as your hand moves up that your shoulder blade slides down your back. You don't want your whole shoulder blade to lift up. Keep your shoulder blade down. Keep that height. Okay, we're going to walk it out on the spot now. So as the left fist comes up, we're going to lift up the right heel, and then we're going to lower it back down. Right side is going to lift up, left heel lifts up. And you're working on being dead steady. Imagine you've got a stack of books balanced on the top of your head. Don't let those books slide off. Maybe pop another book on top, and you've still got it. Another book still balanced on your head. Don't let them slide off. So you can either stay here, walking it out on the spot, practicing your weight transference, or follow me. Make those fists, breathe out, lift up both heels. Breathe in, press your heels down to the floor. Breathe out, rise up. Breathe in, lower down. So just working on that length, getting all those spinal extensors through the back, woken up, the tummy connected. Think of your arms like seesaws. As your hands come up, your shoulder blades slide down your back. Just like children in the park. This child goes up, this child goes down. Make sure they don't come up together. Keep the shoulder blades going down, neck long. 3 more. Fill that head with helium, float it off of your shoulders. 2, squeeze those fists, tense the arms. And 1. Now we're going to roll down onto our knees. So if you start sideways on, top of your mat, bottom of your mat, grow really tall through the crown of your head. Squeeze your chin into your chest, slide your hands down your thighs, round through your whole body. When you get down here, your head and your arms hang heavy. Just take a minute there, and then you're going to bend your knees and you're going to walk your hands forwards. Step your left leg between your hands and then come up into the split kneeling posture. So the first thing I want you to do is just sway forwards and back. If that back knee is tender on the floor, just pop a good cushion underneath it. And so I just want you to get a sense of where you want to put your weight naturally. And I want you to stop with your body weight 50-50 between the 2 legs, so dead centre. Can you do that? Now holding onto your pelvis, can you think about tucking your bottom underneath you? Feel that stretch through the front of the back leg. Now stick your tailbone out behind you. That stretch goes away. Tuck your tailbone underneath you, stretch through the front of that thigh, tailbone out behind us. And again, you've got this constant tug of war going on through the front and the back of the pelvis. And often the front of the hip, the front of the pelvis wins, the hip flexor. It's a nice way to stretch that out. Now the back arm, the same side of the leg that's behind you, I'm going to breathe out, tuck my tail underneath me, push under, lean back and take my arm over my head. Breathe in, release, stick my tail out. Breathe out, push my hip through, take that right arm up, stretch through that whole front side. Breathe in and release. Breathe out. Breathe in. So just got this little tuck going on through the middle of the body, this opening stretch going on the front of my right thigh. 2 more like that. And we're going to hold the last one, bottom tucked underneath us, hip flexor on a stretch, my hands out in front of me. I'm going to beat my hands up and down. So I'm using all of my core muscles to hold me in this new posture. Make sure nothing sways, nothing wobbles, nothing throws you off balance. Try and just keep everything firm. Try not to fall off balance. Keep that tailbone tucked underneath you. Get that sense of length through your neck, like your head is floating off your shoulders once more. Beat those hands up and down. Get that fire in your belly. Last 10. And transition. So from here, as our arms press back, we're going to see if we can straighten our front leg. And then we're going to bring our arms back up, bending our front leg. So we're going to straighten that front leg, push our arms back, big balance challenge. Also big mobility through your hamstring. Breathe out, push those arms back, straighten that front leg. Breathe in, come back up. So you're working on all of your muscles to hold you here. The right thigh working into your lower back and tummy, but also the length and flexibility through that left hamstring. Have a long spine, Lean forwards over that front leg. Try not to curve your back at all. 2 more. 1 more. And now we're going to change. So we're going to step that leg back and bring your right leg forwards. Hold on if you need to, change position, that's absolutely fine. And the first thing we're going to do is, again, just rock forwards and backwards. Pad out this knee if you need an extra cushion underneath it. We're going to see where our body weight naturally falls, and then we're going to bring our body into the middle. If you have got a mirror, it's really useful to just check in sideways that your ear, your shoulder, your hip and your knee are in one straight line. Then we're going to work on these pelvis tilts. So we're going to get our tailbone out behind us, arch our lower back, the stretch goes, and then I'm going to tuck my bottom underneath me and bring on the stretch through the front, slightly lean back, and then release. Tuck under, slightly lean back, open up this hip, and then release. And then as soon as you can, we bring on the arm in our out breath. So you're working and pulling yourself into this stretch. Breathing out, tucking that bottom underneath you, opening up the front of the hip, breathing in to release. Growing as tall as you can through the top of your head. 2 more before we hold it. Last one. Hold it here with that tail tucked underneath us, arms out front, shoulders back. Grow tall and beat your arms up and down. Your goal here is absolute stillness, trying not to fall over, trying not to lose your balance. Get that lump through the top of your head, keeping your body as still as possible. Keep that length through your spine, both legs still. Breathe. Let's do 10 more beats, like you're banging on a drum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it all the way back down. So now with our arms up, we're going to straighten that front leg and push our arms back like we're swimming through water and we're pushing that water away from us. Breathe in, bring the arms back up and your body weight back up. So we're going to stretch out that hamstring on the right, pushing back, and then we're going to bend that knee, rise forwards. See if you can sync your breathing again. Breath out to move, breath in, come back up. So depending on how tight your hamstrings are, the long muscle down the back of this right leg, is how straight you're going to get that leg. And also, whether you are going to struggle to keep your back straight and stop it from rounding. So as soon as your back wants to round and you curve into your back, I want you to stop just before that point. Try and really work on the back staying straight and the leg coming straight. Last 2. And 1. And release. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our backs. So we're going to need to have our feet up on something for this. So dining room chair, edge of your sofa, anything that you can rest your feet onto. And if you do need a head cushion, bring that in now as well. So you can use a pillow or a sofa cushion, and you're going to roll down onto your backs and have your legs up on your chair or sofa. So if without a cushion your neck's too extended, make sure that you can just look straight up to the ceiling and give your head a little lift up with a cushion. I'm going to shuffle in a little bit more so my hips and knees are bent to 90 degrees, so your thigh bone should be pointing straight up to the ceiling. From here, I'm going to slide one hand underneath my low back and make sure my back isn't pressing down into the floor. I can just about slide my lower hand between my back and the mat. From there, we're going to start on single leg hip twists. So I'm going to keep my left leg still, my right knee is going to roll open. Breathe out, I'm going to zip up into my tummy muscles and that leg is going to come back in. Left leg, we're going to roll that one out to the side. We're going to zip up through those tummy muscles, bring that leg back in. So we're alternating from side to side. Whilst we're concentrating on one leg moving, there's just as much concentration on the leg that's not moving. Keep it as still as can be. I'm using the hand underneath my lower back to detect any movement, any roll through my pelvis, any change in shape in my back position. I'm going to keep that as still as can be. Have our feet rested up here so that the hip flexors at the front of the hip aren't too active. We've just spent a little while opening them up. We don't want to fire back up into them. We're trying to match the front and the back line strength. Okay, once more on each side. Make that tummy tighten as the leg comes back in and you breathe out. Allow it to roll. Breathe out and bring it all the way back in. Okay, now I'm going to slide my hand out. I'm going to make sure my back stays in this position. On our out breath, hands go up and overhead. I'm going to keep my back in contact with the floor the whole time. Breathe in, arms come back. So if you've done video 1 with me, we did this against the wall. We were keeping our back in contact with the wall. Now we keep our back in contact with the mat. You don't let your back arch up as your arms come overhead. Keep our back still and we just move from the shoulder, using your arms like weights to get some fire going on in your tummy. Breathe out, arms come up. Breathe in, down. Now let's start to open our chest, circle our arms as we return them. So straight up, circle them round. Straight up, circle them round. Use this little workout as an opportunity to take some of your biggest breaths. Let's breathe in, take our arms up, keep the ribs down. Let's breathe out, circle our arms around. Breathe in, swirl sideways into your ribcage, not up to the ceiling. Breathe out, circle round. Breathe in, arms come up. Breathe out, arms come round. Last one. And arms down by your side. Keeping our feet now on the edge of the chair or sofa, we're going to lift our bottoms up into the air. I don't want you to curl through your body and tuck your bottom under. I want you just to see if you can lift straight up, lifting your hips so they're in line with your knees and your shoulders. And then hinge from your hips and come straight down. Breathe out, we're going to see if we can push our hips straight up. Breathe in and come back down. Breathe out to lift, breathe in to lower. Try it with and without a cushion underneath your head and see which one feels most comfortable for you. With your arms, you can pump and squeeze them back behind you as your hips come up, and then return your arms as you lower down. Breathe out and lift, breathe in, swallow into your ribcage and come back down. Once you've got the hang of the movement, I want you to check in with which muscles are lifting you up here. I want it to be down the back line of your body more than the front line. So if you notice yourself sliding up the mat, you're probably pushing with the front of your thighs a bit too much. Make a note of where you are on the mat, maybe pop something behind your head, and make sure that you're not pushing yourself up the mat. You're holding on to that chair or sofa with the back of your legs. You're making your back line stronger, improving that postural strength. Can we all hold it in 3, 2, and we're going to hold it here. Holding it here, I'm going to rest my elbows down on the mat. Try not to put too much weight through them. Then I'm just going to open up my hands, stretch into my chest and close. Just holding ourselves at the top here. Getting some strength into that low back. Make sure you're not overarched, but there's a straight line. We're just opening up our chest and close. Open and close. Open and close. One more time, take the hands open, hold it. Lower your hips just halfway and we're going to lift them back up. Lower your hips halfway, keep your same position on the mat. Try not to slide away. Last 5. 3, 2, and 1. And relax all the way back down. Now you can push yourself away and lie down completely on your back. Bring your head cushion in. Bend your knees and I want to squeeze your legs together. Bring your hands out to the side like a cactus. Now we're going to unlock the back, we're going to get some mobility again. Squeezing the legs together, we're going to roll both knees down to the right hand side. Allow the top hip to lift up. Now from here, if you can, straighten your top leg, then bend your top leg and bring your legs back in. Corkscrewing through the spine. We're going to roll our legs the opposite way. Squeeze your legs together, don't let them open. Straighten your top leg, bend your top leg, and then work all the way back through. So with your arms out to the side, you're making sure that upper body stays still. Ensuring all of that mobility comes through the spine. Opening up your waist and your low back. No light passing between those knees. 2 more each side. This time, we're going to straighten that top leg. Squeeze your legs together. Keep that leg straight as you roll back through the middle. So you're just getting that added long lever challenge. Hip twist, legs straight, roll through centre and down. Once more each side. Roll through centre. And last one. Okay, now we're going to take it into side lying. So we're going to bring our legs dead straight to begin with. We're going to see if we can balance on our bottom hip. If you need an extra cushion underneath that hip, then go for it. It does act a bit like a rocker ball, so if you need a bit more padding underneath there, then do put a cushion there. First thing I'd like everyone to do, wrap that underneath arm around their cushion and make yourself as long as you can be. Really, really long. Test with your top hand that there's a little bit of light between your waist and the mat. You want to keep that bit of space there as we go through these exercises. First thing we're going to do is pop a little bend in that underneath leg to give you that balance, keeping the top leg straight, just a slight bend in that bottom leg. Now the top leg is going to lift up to the ceiling and it's going to lower down. Lift up to the ceiling and lower down. So you're working on strength at your waist, getting that long, long, long posture. This is helping you with your balance when you're on one leg, your strength on one leg. Okay, one more. And then from that lifted position, try not to rock, wobble or sway. We're going to slide that leg in towards your face and then you're going to press it down straight. Try and stay balanced on that bottom hip. No sway, no movement. Pushing that leg down straight. Keeping your mind focused on your waist staying lifted and having that long line through your spine. Two more. And one. Bring your legs together, rest them on top of one another, and now roll both feet up off the ground. Still got that little bit of a waist lifted. And we're going to press our heels together and roll open the top knee now, and then we're going to lower it back down. Roll open and lower. This is a great one for our pelvic stability, closing down through our pelvis, creating strength across the low back. And then in two, we're going to add a kick. Still got that balance on the bottom hip. Here we go, we're going to open, kick that leg forwards, bend your knee and then close the knee. Open, kick, bend, close. Open, kick, bend, close. Keeping balance on the bottom waist. Long, long spine. 3. Last 2. And 1. Bringing those legs down and then up in front of you. We're going to have a right angle at our hips and at our knees. So bringing those thigh bones horizontally. We're going to lift that top leg now off of the bottom leg, keeping balance on our bottom hip, and then we're going to lower it back down. It's going to lift that leg up and down. Again, all of that single leg stability, not changing shape on the weight bearing side. Last little challenge in side lying. Hopefully feeling it all through the bottom and into the low back. 2 more. Just as though you're waking up those muscles, no pain. Feet stay together, and now we're going to open that top knee and close that knee. Roll that knee in the socket. Sorry, roll that hip in the socket for the knee to open. Like you're screwing your thigh bone into the socket. Last 4 now. 3. So you're working those muscles all the way around that hip. And relax down. From here, I would like you to straighten out your top leg, just to a point where it feels comfortable, but a stretch. So that leg is rested on the floor, your arms are out in front of you. This top arm is going to go straight and you're going to spiral your body back and hold it here for a twist. So you've got this corkscrew going all the way from your top leg toe to the top fingertip. Look back over the arm that's out behind you and hold. And return. We're going to take a little quarter turn onto our tummies now. So lying straight down onto the floor. If you need to, pop a cushion underneath your forehead to give you that straight line through the body. Our arms are going to be up either side of our head and roll those shoulder blades down your back. Imagine me coming around and sliding my hand underneath your low tummy. Give me a little lift up through your tummy muscles so you don't overarch your low back. And keep that space there so that you're keeping your weight a little bit off of my hand. Right arm first, shoulder blades slide down. My right arm is going to slide forwards and then it's going to float up off of the floor without changing any other position. Down and squeeze it back down by my side. Left arm, reach, lift, lower, slide. Alternate those arms, making sure your body isn't rocking from side to side. I'm squeezing my thighs so that they stay active in the movement. And I'm consciously trying not to roll through my hips and shoulders. Once more, single arms. And then we're going to try a set of double arms. So we're going to reach forwards, arms float up, arms lower, squeeze them down. Reach, lift, lower, squeeze. Again, keeping that neck long. We're working on our posture by working on the strength to open up our chest. Keep our neck long. Two more, just like that. And on the last one, I'd like you to try and hold with your arms up off the floor. Hold it here. Perhaps even float your forehead off of the floor as well. So this space between that whole top line. You should still be looking straight down at the floor and it's just a little hover and hold. Last 3, 2, 1. And release. Press through your hands and knees and reverse that shape in your back in between the sides. So we're going to round through your whole body, curving your spine towards the ceiling, pulling your tummy muscles in, and then release through your tail, look forwards. One more like that. Tuck under your tail, round your whole body up towards the ceiling, pulling in through the tummy, and then release it all the way back out. Okay, now we're going to change sides. So bring your cushion round with you, lying down, and the first thing we're to do is stretch ourselves as long as we can, really, really long. Find that waist space between you and the mat. And then from there, pop a little bend in your underneath leg to give you that balance and support. Relax your shoulders. The top leg's going to lift up and lower down. Just move from the hip. So that's your fulcrum, just from the hip. No change in shape at your waist or anywhere else. just from that hip socket. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Breathe out to lift, breathe in, leg comes down. Last 2. 1, that leg stays up. Now it's going to squeeze in towards your nose, still keeping balanced on that bottom leg, and then it straightens out. Squeeze that knee in towards your nose and straighten it out. Imagine I'm watching you from the hips up, and I shouldn't be able to tell that you're moving at all. Last 2. And then we're going to bend our legs together. So stack them on top of one another, float your feet up off of the floor. Still got that waist lifted up off the ground. I'm going to press our heels together and open and close that top knee. Like you're wrapping this thigh bone round towards the bottom one. Opening up through that whole front leg. I should be able to see your inner thigh muscles as you open up through that leg. Two more before we move into kicks. We're going to open, we're going to kick from the knee, we're going to bend and close. Open, kick, bend and close. So you're getting that long lever action. Still not changing shape at your waist, balanced on that rocker ball of the bottom hip. 2 more. Last one. And relax down. Now we're going to bring those legs right up in front of us. Hips and knees are bent to 90 degrees. From there, that top leg floats off the bottom leg and back down. Lift up and back down. So if those squats at the beginning were a challenge, these are the muscles that we need to get stronger. Breathe out as the leg floats. Breathe in as it comes down. Just 2 more. 1 more. Feet stay together. Now we wrap the top knee open and down. Again, like you're screwing the thigh bone into the hip socket. Open, close, open, close. Last 3, 2, 1. Well done. Now straighten that leg out just to the point where you can hold it. Top arm is in front of you, straight line, twist, open and stretch through that top side of your body. This corkscrew going on through that whole spinal column, from the toe all the way up to the fingers, and just hold and breathe there. Last breath.
Mummy,
Hello.
what are you doing?
Finishing off exercises for nanas and granddads everywhere. Okay, now finishing last one onto all fours. Hands and knees. We're going to do a little balance hold. So strength through the back line. Opposite arm and leg is going to reach away and you're just going to hold it there. Lift through your chest, look straight down and give me a hold. So here you're working on your shoulder stability, your neck length, your tummy strength, your back line strength and your leg strength. We're going to bend the knee to the side, bend the elbow to the side, and we're going to hold it here. Keep the tummy lifted, like my toddler's going to come crawling underneath you and hold it there. And change. Now the other side, opposite arm and opposite leg are going to reach away, and we're going to hold it. Lift your chest, look straight down, lift your tummy. Point your toe, reach your finger as far away as you can. Hold your balance. And then bend your knee around to the side, bend your elbow to the side and hold it here. Last 3, keep your neck lifted, keep your shoulder blade lifted. And relax down, hands to the floor, knees underneath you. Big curl through your whole body. Stretch your spine up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your chin to your chest. Try and look inside your belly button and tuck your bottom underneath you. Now release from your tail, from your tummy, from your chest, and look forwards. And again, look into your tummy button, round through your whole body, tuck under your tail and hold it here. And release all the way back down. Spinning around onto our bottoms with our legs out in front of us. If you need a little cushion underneath your bottom, then go for it. But we're going to try and have our backs against a wall. So I'm trying to get my bottom touching and my head touching. If that's too difficult, lift yourself up on something. So you're sticking a cushion or a book underneath your bottom. From here, we're going to roll down in between our 2 legs to stretch through our hamstrings. So chin comes to my chest, head comes off the wall. Shoulder blades come off the wall. I'm creeping my fingers forwards. I'm rounding my whole body off the wall just to the point where I feel a comfortable stretch. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out. I'm going to press my lower back into the wall. I'm going to press my ribs back into the wall. Then my shoulder blades. Then head and neck. And one more time to finish. Squeeze your chin down onto your chest. Roll your shoulder blades off the wall. Roll your ribs off the wall. Your low back off the wall. Come into a comfortable stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press your low back into the wall. Press your mid back into the wall. Shoulder blades. Head and neck. Well done, everybody. We'll see you again soon.